Ladies and gentlemen, this is apparently the studio welcome. I'm Anthony Mackem, and today I'm joined by Paul from RWA. Welcome along, Paul.
Hello, Anth.
Hello. And also on the call with me is Jacob, aka Yorkshire Mackem. How are we doing?
Good evening. Thank you. How are you?
I'm on the mend. As you can tell from my perky attitude, I have completely changed since last week. I have lovely amount of fluoxetine meds. I've got meds, and yeah, going through that. I've got this horrible thing on my face. So if you want to, I know there will be people insulting it at some point. By all means, kick a man when he's down. It's fine. We are. It's not something I'm not used to. Anyways, we're here to talk about Sunderland, and we missed the Norwich game conversation because, well, I was sick last week. So, should we start off with that part of your memory banks? I know it's been a while since we've played Norwich. We beat them 3-1, but what do you recall about your feeling after that game? I'll go with Jacob.
I mean, buzzing. Very much.
Why?
They got because we had a bit of a bad spell, didn't we? 3 games on the trot, weren't it?
Yeah.
It were Borough, Stoke, Leicester, and there was a bit of a bad vibe. Not like what it was towards the beginning of the season after Ipswich, Preston.
Yeah.
And before the summer transfer window, but it was a bit like but then that feeling of getting back to winning ways against Norwich was good. I mean, I think we were a better team really that day, weren't we? And really, their goal was offside. It was referees being a bit inconsistent and linesmen being inconsistent again, but
yeah,
it's referees' decision, I guess, at the end of the day. But we got back into it, didn't we? Not long after they scored, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Hume who got the first goal, or was it Hume to get the first goal, or was it Huggins?
So it was Hume for us.
Yeah.
I'll go through like the order of the goals and stuff like that if we want in a couple of minutes, just about how strongly we performed. But yeah, it's more about how you felt, because so you're saying you were like in a bit of a rut, and that was the nice pull out of it that you needed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty much.
Good. Paul, what about you? How did that Norwich game make you feel?
To be honest, I was actually over the moon at the end of the game because, well, Bowers spoke to a couple of Norwich supporters, and he knew straight away that Norwich were actually missing some of their key strikers.
Sergeant being the main one for me, I think.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw he was missing, I'm like, come on, Sunderland, just control the game. And look at the way it planned out.
Well, at the end of the 90, it was kind of like great, fantastic, but we didn't do it easy, and we never do it easy because we're Sunderland. ADHD, rock autism. Thank you. I am feeling better, as you can tell by my my perkiness in my voice. Got my medication. Just got some literal physical scars from my illness, but hello, welcome along. And uploads. I'm all right now. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate people asking me how I'm doing. This is not something I'm used to. Right, we'll go through how the game panned out, because for me, with the Hwang goal, the officials, like Jacob said, not calling it offside, even though yes, the player was offside. He didn't touch with it, but he did definitely interact with it. Am I right or wrong with that one, boys?
You're right.
Yeah.
But
yeah. For me, even if you pretend to go for the ball, that's you interacting with the player. Therefore, offside, foul, interception, whatever we not interference. That's it. Interference with player. That should be called offside.
If it were other way around, it'd have blown his whistle straight away, wouldn't it? And they called offside.
Yeah, well, it's that, but it's also, I think there's a lot of people who just don't know the rules and don't understand what the rules of the game are. And the sadder thing is, some of them officials of the game as well. So yeah, with Hang getting that goal, there was 2 passes after that stage, but the first time finish from Hwang on the edge of the D into the bottom corner, Patterson had no chance. We could have defended it better, and that was me thinking, here we go again. Same old thing. 3 games in a row, and then we get this. And it was just like, it just completely came out of the blue because up to that point, Sunderland were the better team, but it just felt like it was going to be one of those games where it was like Cardiff, where it was like Ipswich or Preston at the start of the season. We were the better team. We were performing much better. We were geared up for it, and we just couldn't do anything with it. But Jim says, think that Norwich offside was onside. Trey Hume just playing the attacker onside. So even if it is even if that is correct, Jim, I still think it should have been a little bit, should have been handled better by the officials, because it still wasn't like clear that they'd acknowledged that phase of play. There was no like advantage. There was no like nothing happened. There was no gesturing from the referee or officials to say clearly onside. It was just run around like yeah, doesn't matter. The goal was given at the end of the day, and we had to react to it, and we definitely reacted to that goal. It took us a little while to the 37th minute where Trey Hume gets his leveller for the club, and. Am I in my own like little world thinking like, why are our right back, getting the goals for us? Why are we reliant on our defenders scoring to kick us back into gear rather than like the wingers and the strikers? It just felt like it needed that bit of kick and oomph from somewhere, and it always just seems to be further back in the field than you expect. Next, Patterson's going to score. If we keep going like this, but we deserve to be back into it. Absolutely buzzing with that Hume goal, and then I think the goal of the game comes literally seconds before half time. Jack Clark, what a beast of a human he is. He just draws, I think it was 6 or 7 Norwich defenders into him, dinks it over into the middle. Dan Neal's there and just dinks it over the keeper, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and yeah, hit the back of the net, 2-1 up at half time. And then finally, Jack Clark earns and wins a penalty late on in the game to seal the deal, 80 minutes in with a penalty. Do you think that penalty decision was a penalty?
Against
Norwich.
I don't know. Some people saying he tripped up, didn't he? I think you said it, Anthony tripped up, or Cabby said that he tripped up.
Yeah.
From what? I don't know. But I actually watched Terry's vlog, and it looked like where he was quite close to behind the goal where the penalty got scored. I think the Norwich player put his leg out, actually. So I think, and the Norwich player, when ref blew his whistle, Norwich player acted as if he didn't do what wrong, which he clearly did. After I saw that video of Terry's, I'd say it's a definite penalty. If that player's putting his leg out deliberately, trip him up. I mean, yes, he's trying to get the ball, but it didn't look like a great tackle to me.
To be fair, for me, I think that third goal, that penalty, was the cherry on the top. The previous game, we go back 3 games now. The previous game against Leicester, we were denied a clear-cut, absolutely stonewall penalty. Should have been given, and yet it wasn't. This one was a bit on the edge, and it was given to us. So it's balanced out over those 2 games. We got the penalty that we deserved, and I think we got a penalty that we should have deserved. Whatever. We've got 1 penalty out of 2 options essentially, but we still get a penalty. It makes Jack Clark the league's leading top scorer in the same time as well. So, again, I think it was just the cherry on top of a really good performance. I've got the stats here from the game. The top 3 line stats, obviously. 3-1 win, 63% possession for Sunderland, 17 shots to Norwich's 9, so over double the amount of efforts, and our 9 shots on target to their 2. So an absolutely dominant, clear-cut display in terms of who is better at attacking in that game, and the right team won on the end of the day. Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, I've actually got to agree with you, actually.
Yeah. Do you? Is any moments in that Norwich game that you think should have been done better by Sunderland or by the officials?
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, Uploads has been funny in the chat here as well. He's asked, am I still going to the home game against Birmingham this Saturday? I am indeed. I shall be. I can't remember what the name of the stand is. Yes, I will be at the stadium on Saturday. And he said he found a picture of me, and it's a picture of a goat. Like, I'm not sure how to take that. I'll take it on the chin. And Jim says, need to play to the whistle like Arsenal. Jacob, do you want to step in on that comment?
Was he on about the goal for Newcastle against Arsenal?
I think so. I've not seen it. So
Yeah, I sent you it on Discord. It's like the Newcastle player had both his hands at the back of Arsenal player's
head
around his neck or back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoves him, and his teammate scores, and yet the ref lets him have the goal. And leading up to that goal, the ball was out near the corner flag. It was off the line, so it should have been a goal kick to Arsenal. And yet that's a Premier League ref. I mean, VAR has a bit of to an extent, but that's a Premier League ref. He should know better. He should know better.
Okay, so on that point, I know we're talking about the Arsenal Newcastle game here a little bit, and I think we're not a Premier League team yet, so I think commenting on Premier League referees is a little bit unfair because we haven't had a lot of recent interactions with that level. So I'll call that out here. But we have had a number of Premier League referees step into the Championship, and sadly for me, it is one of those things where we are seeing the knock-on effect of referees become reliant on VAR. And VAR, by all means, right now is in an absolute state, as I think it has been since day one. There's not been, a couple of weeks go by without an incident that should have been pulled back on VAR. It is a human error thing looking at another human error thing. I'm just very conscious that, yes, there is officials making mistakes in games, and it does seem to punish us a lot. But to the other end, I'd rather have people making mistakes and they being honest mistakes than a system completely screwing up games and it taking away the enjoyment of it. So yeah, it should have been pulled back. If it doesn't get pulled back in the same game, in the same 90 minutes, then the footage of that game should and can be used by the EFL. The referee not interacting with that effectively in that moment should always be available for review. If the referee's carded the yellow and it should have been a red, that should always be reviewed at the end of the game. Anything that comes up that needs to be found and addressed. That's where I think the rules are a bit weird at the moment, because if the referee has carded, that is deemed an appropriate punishment. But it doesn't work if it's 2 yellows. Doesn't work if it's off the pitch. So if the yellow's down like the tunnel or to the manager or anything like that, none of them can be reviewed. But it's only if it's a straight red that the ensign can be reviewed. So, like, I don't know. I just find like the whole. This is how we are looking at the current game with VAR, with the match officials. you can see the top level with VAR, and they have a couple of mistakes here and there, and they're clear and obvious. But at this level, it seems there's a lot more mistakes and a lot more riding on it. So, yeah, we'll see we'll see how that goes. And I'd much rather personally have VAR in the Championship to see if that levels out where teams should actually be based on the performance of the squads in those games. There's still going to be mistakes like the Premier League shown, but yeah, let's see how the time will tell with that one. There's going to be a lot more Premier League teams dropping down into this level with VAR capable stadiums already. So why not just switch it on as soon as the threshold's over half the league with that in their stadiums? We're not far off it now, right?
I know.
No, we're not like.
How many teams? So it came in 2018, right? How many teams have been in the
What?
VAR came into the Premier League in 2018?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so
It might have been a bit later, I'm not too sure.
yeah, so every team that's been relegated in 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So you've got potentially 15 teams. Obviously, some teams go up and go back down. But I think as soon as we get over half that, we should be looking at it. I think that's a bit of a VAR rant. Yeah. We have the next game against a birds-based team, Swansea, to talk about. Now, it's a 0-0 game, so you'd think there'd be absolutely nothing to go over here. Paul, what do you want to say was your highlight of that Swansea game? What's the key moment for you?
We keep a clean sheet.
Okay. I mean, it's a point gained. Well, it feels like 2 points lost, but it's still a point on the board, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So you said it's a clean sheet. Who's your man of the match for Sunderland in that game?
For me, I'm actually going to give it to Patterson.
Why? Because I'm edging it. I'm bleeding the blood out of the stone here. Why is he man of the match? Come on.
For me, I just thought, yeah, Patterson actually kept it out.
Mm-hmm. Kept what out? The ball out.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say Patterson kept the ball out, Swansea City, here's the match stats, by the way. Swansea City at home had 29% possession. They had 3 shots and 2 on target the entire game. So Patterson keeping it out on his two shots he had to come up against. That gives him the man of the match.
I would have given it to him anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jim's got it, and Uploads has got it because he saved the penalty. The penalty, you missed out at the penalty part, mate. You just went because he kept it out.
Yeah, because of the penalty. Because to be honest, I wasn't happy with 09 or Ballard. I can tell Mowbray's not happy with them too.
Well, luckily his choice has been taken out of his hands for the next game against Birmingham with those two. I think it obviously Luke O'Nine's suspended because of his fifth yellow card, and Ballard got injured. Is that right? Or was it the other way around?
Ballard's got a 5th yellow card as well.
Oh, so they both got the 5th yellow card.
Yeah, so they're both suspended this weekend.
Oh, fantastic! I thought he picked up like a little hammy or something towards the end of the game, but okay, fair enough. To the other end of that, by the way, Sunderland had 71% possession, 25 shots. That's a shot every 2.5 minutes, by the way, and just 3 of those shots on target. So I think that tells you pretty much where we need to improve in that match. Before I delve into it a little bit, Jacob, Do you want to give your overall perception of that point game against Swansea?
First half, I think we were better over in both halves, but I think in the first half we performed better than we did in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I think Swansea started to suss us out a bit more as the game went on, and they were parking bus, and their keeper made some great saves. I'm being honest, but
Yeah,
just the fact that they went down to 10 men and we still couldn't really get the clinical finish. It's just felt a bit like felt let down, to be honest. And
mm-hmm.
you know, it's typical, isn't it? They're a bogey team, and they hardly did all they did in that game. Swansea, they didn't make any chances really. But,
No.
of course, you had Patterson's save, didn't you? But which I'll thank him for. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, just a bit one of those days, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. Okay, I want to have a bit of a rant now, but if you feel like it's appropriate, jump in, butt in. All right. So
Yeah.
I think before they had was it Patino? Patino got his second yellow in I think it was like the 30th minute. I haven't got the time written down here. He went off with about an hour of gameplay left. Before that point, the game was kind of open, but it was definitely in Sunderland's favour. We were the better team, and it was frustrating them. They were clearly not happy with how well we were controlling the ball and making them look stupid. By getting that second yellow and Patino getting sent off, them going to 10 men, they were forced into reverting back to that park the bus that you mentioned there. So with that park the bus system in place, 15 minutes, let's see how the half goes, and we'll rock it up. We'll basically try and go a second half with a more appropriate game plan against that opposition team that's going to rejig and potentially stay park the bus for the rest of the game with counter-attacking options. So 15 minutes, half time, 0-0. The penalty option, that counter attack that they had, and Luke O'Nien just dragging the striker down, absolutely was a penalty. There's no debate from me about it. It's stupid again from Luke O'Nien. He puts his heart on his sleeve, which we love, but he can't be putting his heart on his sleeve to the point where it leads to stupidity. So yeah, he's one of our more mature players. Sometimes he needs to act like that. I think he's aware of that. That's not going to be something he's unaware of. It's just frustrating to see somebody who we are really happy with, really passionate with, keep on making mistakes like this. That's a side of the game that he needs to work on, and we need to be accepting that he's going to keep doing. At some point, he'll have like 10-game spell where he does absolutely everything perfectly. Then the 11th game, he'll do that again. So that's something that we're aware of. That's just something that Mowbray is aware of. So the penalty happening, not a massive surprise against someone in the player, but it's saved by Patterson. Patterson doing his job amazingly. Again, agree with everybody here. He is definitely the Sunderland's man of the match because of how well he commanded that counter attack and controlled the defenders after that point and kept their heads level. So yeah, Patterson gets man of the match for a lot of people here. That part of the bus style in the second half, we are fully aware of, and we don't change our tactics. We go 4-2-3-1 again. Why are we not adapting how we defend in the second half when we've got an extra man? We should be able to flood their attack, flood their defense, flood our attack, bombard their defense with that extra man. If they're going to be putting 8-9 people behind the ball at all times with one just like on the hopes for a long ball, why does it take 4 men to mark 1 or 2 people? We should have 3 at the back. That's my point. We should move to one of those people out of the back 4 into a back 3, and then make it a 3-5-2. Have the 2 dedicated strikers up front. There's no adaptability. It's just going to keep going with that. We make like for like subs, which again is okay, fitness and stuff like that, but we weren't breaking through, and the times we were having shots, they weren't on target. They weren't challenging their keeper. 25 shots and 3 on target for me tells you, yeah, we're comfortable shooting, but we're not precise enough. We're not clinical enough in front of goal. So, yeah. Upload saying, I can't believe bar hit the bar. Is it right? Steve-O, morning. I'm doing all right, mate. Thank you very much. On the mend. About 90% there. So, yeah, we're good. By the way, also, if I keep looking over this way, this is where the chat is. And also, I've got the Rotherham Ipswich game on the side, which is also currently 1-1. So, I think my ultimate, to wrap up my rant about this Swansea game, and I think it's a frustration for the rest, for the season, how I've seen it so far. Tony Mowbray has a rigid game plan, and he'll stick to that game plan throughout the entire 90 with that team, believing it's going to do the difference, rather than going, right, we've got game plan A. If our player gets sent off, we'll move to game plan B. If one of their players goes off, we'll move to game plan C. And then like have a branch of game plans based on how that game's panning out, rather than just A all the time. If we're relying on the very rigid 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 75th minute, or the 80th minute substitutions, yeah, they're going to help with the like-for-like changes, but they're not going to like improve a massive amount. All you're doing is putting somebody who's more fit against somebody who's fatigued, and all it takes to counteract that is for the opposition team to substitute somebody on who's fit and healthy in that counter position. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's just an old tactic or a very rigid form from our gaffer, and I think it's getting a little bit tedious at this stage. So watching the post-match conferences, watching the press releases beforehand, and it's whinging and moaning a little bit about how frustrating our strikers are being, rather than going, well, if we've got one striker and we're giving them 60 minutes, and then we're getting another striker and giving them 20 minutes, and then giving another striker 10 minutes, why haven't they scored yet? Well, you're not giving somebody a full 90. You're not giving them the confidence. You're not giving them the service, because you're realizing the rest of the team are providing the goals. So there you go. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
In a way, what would you do for this weekend then, Ants, with Ballard or 9 out?
It's the perfect opportunity, because Birmingham are a strange team. They like to go 4-4-2. Our current formation, the 4-2-3-1, does work really well against that style. So I would be tempted just to do like for like replacements of those two with Sealt and Triantis. But that,
Phil Smith from the Sundeco reckons that Triantis won't play. Phil Smith reckons it'll be Jason Selt and Dennis Serkin
at the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I don't know how we're going to pan it out. Steve-O, nice to hear. Start my army registration. Awesome, mate. Well, all the poppies will be part for you now going forward if you get in, mate. Good luck. Thank you. Also, you look good. Have you been losing weight or something? Yes, I have. Thank you. I had a comment saying I had a double chin the other day, and I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's definitely one chin, right? Is this one chin?
Yeah.
Oh, please boost my ego.
He's not Steve Evans. He's not Stevenage manager Steve Evans. God.
Yeah. So.
Mr. Penguin. I like to call him.
What would you do on? What would you do? I'll reverse the question, because I think putting the 4-2-3-1 formation against Birmingham City makes sense. It's just I kind of want us to have two strikers as well.
I'd have 3 at the back, so Serkin, Sealt, and Triantis.
Okay.
I would have done Elise, but Elise is not. Elise is going to be fit.
What about Hume?
Hume.
Mm-hmm.
Could have him as left back though, couldn't you?
Or Huggins.
Maybe. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a shame, because Ballard's one of crucial players, isn't he? And,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, like you said, 2 strikers. I'd also try and have that. I'm not sure. Can you have that like 3 at the back, right at the back, and maybe 2 up front?
Yeah, you can have a 3-5-2. You can have a 3-5-2.
Right, because we could go with that, couldn't we? I'm not sure if we've done that formation yet.
No, but a 3-5-2 would have worked perfectly in that second half against Swansea. That's my point. Like, why aren't we taking off one of? Did we take off one of these right back? Did we take off? I think we took off. Did we take off Huggins or Hume at half time? Not half time. 60 minutes.
Hume.
We made a couple of subs at the 60-minute mark. We made 3 subs at once, and was it Mia came on?
Dak came on, didn't he? Bradley Dak came on as well.
Dak and Pritchard came on at the same time, which is something that I thought would never happen. Those two playing on the pitch at the same time, because they're exactly the same role. But that shows that there is some kind of what's it called, adaptability from Mobay to go, do you know what, let's have 2 cams today rather than 1, because they replaced Roberts and Job. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, well, the only change that came on second Dak for Pritchard and Samido. Because Samido came on for Russian.
Oh, Russian, man. I feel sorry for him a little bit. And that phrase is rare for me. I know Paul says it quite a bit, but for me, him missing and hitting it just beyond the far post when he was 1-on-1 with a keeper in that first half before the red cards. That to me killed his. Yeah,
he might leave next summer, because if this carries on, him not getting enough time, he'll get fed up, won't he? And he'll want to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I won't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, so we've got Birmingham coming up, right? We'll talk about that a little bit, because obviously there's some options for change this week with the forced changes. Can you see this Birmingham side beating Sunderland? I'm just going to load up the league table now, by the way. So
I do have a bit of a feeling they could, to be fair, because our form's a bit hit and miss in it. We went back to winning ways against Norwich, but
so there's a 4-point gap between Sunderland and Birmingham. We've won 2 more games, and they've drew those 2 games that we've won. So they're on 18 goals scored, 19 conceded to Sunderland's 24 and 16. So defensively, if they're going to score against us, this is the perfect game for it, because obviously we've been forced into changes. Our back 2 is there. Has Bellingham been any good? I mean, he scored his brace, but since then he's kind of not really stepped up, has he?
I'd like to see him score against Birmingham. Sunderland start doing a player cursing now with some of our players.
I think he's broke into the first team. He's our first choice cam now. He's overtaken Dak and Pritchard as that one we want to go for, but he hasn't justified it in the last, say, 6 or 7 games, for me at least. So
yeah, but every player's going to be on and off, aren't they? But Bellingham's still young, and he's like 18, isn't he?
I think
younger than me.
I think he's just turned 18.
And his brother's like 20.
His brother's
like 23 or something.
He's 21.
All right, so
they're both young.
He's in the Real Madrid team. You wouldn't expect that really from a lot of young'uns, would you? Get into teams like Real Madrid or?
I don't know. The Bellingham family do look like pure talent. So yeah.
And they both play a lot like each other. They're both Jude and Job, don't they? Like, it's just. I really hope Job gets in the England team as well, which I'm sure he will. There's no doubt about that.
I'm just going to load up this for a second, because I want to see how their stats are going. I'm a stat man, but I'm not a stat man, if that makes sense. So it looks to me the majority of their goals bar the exception of the West Brom game, which is a derby, come very early in the game or like close to the end. So when the teams are like not quite 100% or they're just like hanging on for dear life, there's no goals like in the middle of the games generally. But they concede them all over the place. They concede a lot late on as well. So I don't know. They'll be consistent throughout like the majority of the game by the looks of it, but there'll be goals towards the start of the game, half time, just after half time, or towards full time. That's the way their stats pan out.
In a way, I actually hope this is not actually Wayne Rooney's first win.
He's already won,
Yeah.
hasn't he?
No,
He's already won it. Didn't he get something against Ipswich?
I got a point. Got a point.
Oh, yeah.
Against Ipswich.
Shrek.
Oh, do you know what's going in our favour though? They are 21st on the away points table. They've got 4 points away from home this season. So
their away form's pretty.
Their away form's horrible. Their home form, they're 7th. Better than our home form.
They're generally not a bad side though, are the Birmingham City? Like they've been in Championship for a very long time now.
But it looks like it basically looks like they are where they are because of Fortress St Andrews this season. So,
but haven't they got ownership problem? I thought they had some problems with their owners at one point. Birmingham.
Yeah, they do, but that's not something we can control in the game itself.
No.
So yeah,
But
yeah,
it'd be typical of Wayne Rooney to get his first win at away win at Sunderland. It's always Sunderland where teams get either the first win or first summer. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I want that to end. I want that to just end now.
Well, the former players in our squad there, really, that the one that they let go is the Bellingham. So maybe that'll go in our favour this time round.
Yeah, they've got Sanderson on a permanent deal.
Yeah, but it's Sanders.
He was good for us as a right back. He was good.
He was a League One player, mate. He was a League One player. The fact that he's in the Championship, I think, flatters him a little bit. You not think?
I saw on the Echo earlier, Birmingham are missing a couple of players for the weekend, actually.
And they're missing a good manager as well. Sorry.
Birmingham are missing a midfielder.
Yeah.
This has gone to
yeah, but if you look at our injury list compared to their injury list, it's chalk and cheese. We're missing half of our squad pretty much.
Well, the Echo's saying Birmingham midfielder, can't pronounce his first name, but his second name is Bai Lick. Will miss Saturday's match against Sunderland at Cinema Fight after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season.
Oh, Christian Bielik.
Yeah, he's missing.
Okay.
Rooney will also be unable to call on Lee
Buchanan.
Lee Bunchen.
Buchanan,
that's him.
Bunchen. Lightly Bunchen.
Keshi Anderson is out.
Yep. See you soon,
Tyler Roberts is out until after the international break.
I don't think they're massively missing out on him though, mate, to be honest.
Alfie Chan is out.
Again, not that worried about that, to be honest. So the only player I think we should be worrying about is Djukowicz up front and Buchanan in the midfield. Troy Deeney isn't there anymore, is he?
No, he's at Forest Green, Troy Deeney.
He's gone, mate.
I thought he was still at Birmingham.
No, he was there last season.
No, he went.
Pretty sure. Troy Deeney's gone. Troy Deeney's a hit and miss.
Forest Green, yeah.
Yeah. He's gone, mate. He's gone. All right, you can calm down. Yeah, Forest Green Rovers. He's played 12 games for them and scored 4 goals. Yeah, he's gone. Stansfield is a threat. Yeah, that's a point as well. To be fair,
Yeah. We were rumoured with him, weren't we, Stansfield?
Yeah, but if you compare like player versus player, Sunderland versus Birmingham, Sunderland should have the upper hand against pretty much everybody. that they have. Like if they've got Stansfield, we've got we've got Bellingham. They've got oh god, I've just literally just closed the bloody players list. I dare say, like, if you're looking at top threats, they've got those three that I've mentioned just. But if Sunderland have Clark, we've got Roberts, we've got Ruscio, I think will come on. We've got Hamia, who could provide goals. But if you're looking at just purely goal scorers already, our defence with Ballard's gone, sorry. Our midfield, Dan Neil, Ekwar, yeah. Bellingham, Clark, just anybody in our midfield who starts, Pritchard even. Like, I think we've got a better of them. We've just got to control the game, and let's see how it pans out.
Here's one. Do you actually think Tony Mowbray will probably risk Mayenda?
I hope if he's fit and ready, and we need to try something new, why not? We've tried Rusian for 3 games. We give Burstow 6 games, by the way, without that. So maybe if he wants to try, a 2 up the front and see if that works, let him do it. Like, we've got to trust that he's doing the right decision on that game, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Jim says we were after Stansfield. He scored a few already. We would be okay as long as they don't go down to 10 men and park the bus. We have no way through parking the bus. Like, I think it's a common theme this season. Who else was that? Cardiff was like that, and I think Preston were like that. Like, we just can't break through it. Oh, Coventry were like that, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, goes to show. Just need to fire on all cylinders. I think we've covered everything pretty much. This Friday, obviously, I won't be around for another Mackem football show because we're going up to the Stadium of Light. We're going to watch the Birmingham game in person. It's been a while, but going up to watch it with me mummy.
You watch, Lo, and since you're there, you watch Sunderland wins. You watch.
Yeah, but I can't afford the 500 quid. Well, actually, it's more like 780, but I can't afford the 500 quid just to travel up north for a weekend. I wish I could, but to be fair, it does mean that the watch along can't happen this week as well, which is. Yeah, even when I was ill, I was trying to do the watch along. So I will be pointing out whoever else is doing the watch along on the day. You know anybody who is doing one? I know because we're at home. It's very slim pickings on who else is doing them. You know?
I haven't heard of anybody doing one yet.
Yeah, I think the safe bet would be Cabby. Cabby's style's a little bit different to mine. Let's put it that way. But I should be back.
I'll join his live stream. I'll join Cabby's stream.
Yeah, you know how to get in touch with each other. Where is it? I'm just gonna make sure. When is the next fixture after the Birmingham one?
Why? I think there's another international break in there.
Yeah, it is.
Another one.
Birmingham game.
Another one. We've only got 4 games this calendar month. So we've got Swansea, which we've got Swansea, which we've just done. We've got Birmingham this weekend on Remembrance Day. So there will be a big display, I believe, at the Stadium of Light for that. Then Plymouth and Huddersfield Town. We should be picking up points this month. Should be an all right November, but long, slow, and drawn out. And then in December we've got 7 games. Oh, Jesus. So yeah, slow November, but hopefully we'll pick up a load of points. Anyways, cool. Hopefully, I think unless you've got any more points, I want to end the stream there, mate. It's been an interesting catch up. You got any more points?
No.
Cool. All right then.
Not I can think of, but as you said, there is a big display.
Yeah.
It's the same display that we had last season. the big massive poppy display.
And it might be my profile picture going forward. You never know. Or background banner. We'll see. Cool. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm on. Goodbye.
Hello.
Bye, everyone.
Have a
Bye,
pre-
lads.
have a